The following will contain spoilers for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. If you do not enjoy spoilers, then I will give you moments to click off right now. Also, I would honestly recommend you either go play the game yourself or watch someone's playthrough because the game really is that good. From a story narrative wise, anyway. I personally think the gameplay is great too, but this is not a 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim review, so let's move on, shall we? And with that, I've given you enough time to actually click off the video if you want to avoid spoilers. So, let us begin! On today's episode of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim Character Files, we will be discussing about Tamao Kurabe. And as usual, we'll be starting from 2188 up to the third loop version. And with that, let us begin. The 2188 Tamao Kurabe is a leading authority figure when it comes to artificial intelligence. She is also, or should I say was, the mentor of Chihiro Morimura, as well as being 120 years old, making her the confirmed eldest member among all the 15 survivors. The reason why she looks younger than her true age is because of nanomachine treatments which were used in, well, keeping her young. Mind you, though, they will not keep you permanently young. You will still eventually die because of cell degradation. Anyway, I'm getting kind of off track, so let me get back onto the right track, if you will. Since humanity lacked the technology to sustain life across, well, light years of travel, Tamao Kurabe was the one who concocted the plan for how Project Art was to transport only the genetic information to the new world. She is also one of the people who worked on, well, as stated here, she's a leading authority on artificial intelligence. She helped with the programming aspects of the nanomachines that would govern everything in the interstellar development project, such as, and not limited to, the terraforming machines themselves, the AI inside the space probes controlling the terraforming tools, or should I say terraforming machines, as well as most importantly, the artificial intelligence, namely the AI of the only way to call them, the NPCs inside the simulation, to make them as lifelike as possible. Because, as stated here, she believes that humanity is defined by the inheritance and evolution of our culture and knowledge, which is why she proposed the growth pods as part of the last phase of the interstellar development project so that the humans, or should I say, the new humans created from the DNA of the 15 survivors, will not only come out already prepared and with knowledge on how they want to live their lives, as well as having a general idea of how they want to continue humanity's evolution or the lineage of humanity, because the 15 new survivors, or should I, no, not survivors, the 15 new humans that come out of the growth pods will be the ones to inherit the legacy of humanity's history. Now, let us move on to the Tamao Kurabe of the second loop. The Tamao Kurabe of the second loop died fighting the kaiju. However, was brought back into the third loop by Ida Tetsuya. She was one of the AIs that he used as an experimentation into trying to bring back the dead back from life. Tamao Kurabe was brought back alongside Keitaro Miura and Hijiyama as AI pilots for the Sentinels. Unlike the Tamao Kurabe of the third loop who resided in Sector 5 in the year of 1945, the Tamao Kurabe of the second loop seems to be technologically proficient, so much so that she was able to create false memories to implant into the inner locitors of Juro Izumi to give him a personality and to stabilize him, thus giving him a new life. Due to the fact that Juro Kurabe had lost all his memories of being Juro Izumi because of the virus of Ida, coupled with, well, him overexerting himself and overloading his brain when he fought against the kaiju for 2 hours straight by himself in the defense of 2024. This implies that the Tamao Kurabe of the second loop was located in a different sector, one of the more technologically advanced sectors, most likely Sector 1 or Sector 2, because the Tamao Kurabe of the third loop is not very proficient with technology in any way whatsoever, due to the fact that she is located in Sector 5, which simulates, well, the World War II era, 1945 and such. And as everyone knows, during that period of time, women were not expected to be educated in the matters of, artificial intelligence and such. So she wouldn't have had any chance to properly relearn her previous life skills, which would probably have come really easily to her too. The Tamao of Kurabe of the second loop was also watching out for prisoner number 426. Due to the fact that she was lied to by Ida Tetsuya, she believed that that Juro Izumi, or should I say prisoner number 426, had something to do with the Sentinels' failures. She also shows a high amount of morality because she was completely against Chihiro Morimura's let's just call it desire, because there's no really nice way to sugarcoat it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, just wait for Chihiro Morimura's character 5, because it seriously fuck up what her actual plan for Juro Kurabe was. If Tamao Kurabe had not stepped in, it borderline was horribly creepy. The Tamao Kurabe of the second loop would eventually lose her android body, not AI body. I almost said AI body for some reason. Anyway, her android body to prisoner number 426 after confronting him during Natsuno Minami's route when she hid in the girls' bathroom, running away from the Tomi Kisaragi android that came from, that came with a Sekigahara. You know, the one controlled by prisoner number 426, which he stole from Ida Tetsuya and all that. Anyway, somehow, even though Tamao Kurabe won the fight against Tomi Kisaragi, although, to be fair, the Tomi Kisaragi android was already falling apart at the seams in the first place, so it probably wasn't even that hard to win. However, in that short span of time that Tamao Kurabe's android body was wailing on the Tomi Kisaragi android body, prisoner number 426 managed to confiscate and steal away the android body from the second loop Tamao Kurabe, if effectively rendering her useless for the rest of the loop, because now she was sent back to the command ship and trapped, unable to do anything unless someone actually brought her back. She also displays quite a bleeding heart because she felt great sympathy for Megumi Yakushiji, who had essentially lost her lover Juro Izumi. No, don't ask me about what they got up to. We have no idea. All we know is that Megumi and Juro became lovers in the short span of time they were together somehow, in less than a few months. And this part is just to make sure there is no confusion. Before the Tamao Kurabe AI from the second loop arrived in the third loop and became Juro's legal guardian, there was already a NPC of Tamao Kurabe, the grandma, which is not to be mistaken as well for the Tamao Kurabe of Sector 5 in 1945, as they are completely different entities. The Tamao Kurabe NPC, the Tamao Kurabe Granny, was established merely as a story setting for Juro Kurabe. And I can understand. You probably have the question of how did this Tamao Kurabe of the second loop have the proper legal papers for Tamao Kurabe Granny, etc. Well, that's easy enough to explain. It's because they're pretty much the same person. The NPC AI Tamao Kurabe is based on the real Tamao Kurabe from 2188. So every incarnation of her has the same biosignature and also handwriting. So it'd be easy enough for them to not only pass a DNA check for Tamao Kurabe, but also to to make a signature that is perfectly legit because even if they're different versions of the person, they're still literally the same person, namely Tamao Kurabe. And finally, the Tamao Kurabe of the third loop who resides in Sector 5 in the year of 1945. Tamao is good friends with Keitaro Miura and Hijiyama. She is also privy to quite a bit of secrets that normally should not be told to others due to her affiliation with Renya Goto. Well, I say affiliation, but it's actually nothing that grandiose. Renya Goto, for some reason, was giving her medicine that would cause her to have strange dreams. We know these dreams are pretty much memories from a different variation of her. What is unknown is the reason that Renya Goto gave her this medicine and then started giving her another medicine to make her forget. Now, I have a conjecture as to what that is. It's very likely that these pills were an experimental new way of transferring memories that they were testing on Tamao Kurabe to see how viable they were. Because, do remember, Chihiro Morimura's obsession with transferring memories and body jacking comes from her desire to see her Juro Izumi again, which would explain why Tamao Kurabe of 1945 became an unfortunate guinea pig, and Renya Goto, being very much in love with Chihiro Morimura, would never question her orders. Yes, he was that much of a simp. The Tamao Kurabe of the third loop did not last long. During the invasion of the kaiju of Sector 5, Keitaro Miura came back to see her disappearing into the ether. We now know that it is because when any one of the 15 survivors are killed, or should I say, terminated inside the simulation, they are not actually dead. Instead, they are sent back to their pods, isolated from the simulation, awaiting judgment. Because if the simulation fails, they will be deleted as data, as trash, alongside the rest of the failures. But if the rest of the survivors, even without even without her joining in their success or helping them to win, as long as the rest of the survivors in the simulation succeed the simulation, all of them get to come out of the pods and download it into their new human bodies. According to Tsukasa Okino, what happened to Tamao Kurabe was akin to being put asleep until the simulation was finished. And with that, we are done with Tamao Kurabe. Next time, we will be discussing who would be a good topic to discuss. Nah, I'm joking. I already know who I'm gonna discuss. It's going to be Keitaro Miura, Natsuno Minami's lover, boyfriend, husband, as well as Tamao Kurabe's good friend. But hopefully I'll see you again then. And oh yeah, end screen and end screen. What you call this? Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the content. I sincerely you enjoy my content. Sorry. Sometimes words elude me for some reason. Anyway, thank you for watching and hope to see you again on another video. Bye.